Hey there, it's Adrian. I'm the founder of Groundhogg. You are about to watch a customer call, a specialized training call that we do live a couple times a month with our customers. If you'd like to participate in these calls live, make sure that you sign up for a license. Any of these licenses, any of our paid plans will get you into the calls. You are free to participate and ask questions during those calls, some of which are included in this recording. And don't forget that if you found this recording useful, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Enjoy. So today, what we're focusing on is front-end personalization. The reason that you might want to have front-end personalization, I'm actually going to bring my microphone a little bit closer, is let's say that you have like a thank you page, someone signs up, they go through your sign up process, and you want to give them a personalized landing page that says, thanks for signing up, your name here. Thanks for signing up Johnny, or thanks for signing up Greg, right? And that just gives that sort of experience just a little bit more oomph. It makes the customer feel a little bit more, in. Everybody has a longing for belonging, and personalization makes people feel in. The point of utilizing marketing automation and CRM at scale is to be able to manage relationships, and relations are built on knowing things about people. And so the more that you can demonstrate that you know a person, the stronger that relationship between your brand and the individual contact will be. And so front-end personalization gives you a lot of tools in order to create a personalized experience to show your customers that you indeed do know them and cater to their experience as they travel throughout your site. This is going to be super applicable to anyone who runs membership sites, content, or really just any site where you're having some sort of digital onboarding experience. We use personalization on Groundhogg.io throughout the account, and some interesting areas of the website that are not obvious. But without further ado, let's dive into what you're going to need to actually make front-end personalization work. So the first thing you're going to need is at least a Groundhogg Basic Plan license, because the Groundhogg Basic Plan includes the content restriction add-on. And this is essential for doing some of the more advanced techniques using Gutenberg, which is the builder that we are going to showcase today. You are also, if you don't necessarily need it, but it's always nice to have. Also part of the basic plan is the custom replacement codes. And I'll show you some of the cool tricks you can do with custom replacement codes. And as always, it's always a good idea to have advanced features, also part of at least the basic plan. Now, first things first, we're going to head over to a page. I'm going to add a new page. And I am going to ignore all of the prompts. I'm going to call it thank you page because I'm incredibly creative. Okay, so once you have a page and you've created a thank you page, you're gonna obviously put content on that page. Maybe it's like a link to download something or some additional next steps or whatever it is. But I'm going to show you the possibilities that exist in terms of actual personalization. So the first thing that you might want to personalize is their experience in terms of the content, meaning hi first name, or just injecting information from custom fields or things that you know about a person. And so in order to do that, we can simply type out hi first, thanks for signing up, just as you would in an email, right? So usually we start off emails with either hey, hello, or what's up first, right? Using that replacement code. And sometimes you might add in a default, such as friend, hi friend. Now, if I go ahead and save this and then go preview it, what it's going to show me is obviously that replacement code, right? Boo, terrible. So what we need to do is we need to go over to the block. So in this case, we have a paragraph block currently in use, and you will see that there is a Groundhogg panel. If we go ahead and we expand that, there's going to be a little toggle that says enable replacements. And then any Groundhog replacements that are in those curly braces will now automatically be recognized as Groundhog replacements, and you will be able to use any Groundhog replacements given that the tracking cookie is active or someone is logged in your content. So we can go ahead and save this now and then preview a new tab, and boom, hi Groundhog, because my first name in this demo site is Groundhog. Pretty straightforward, and that's awesome. And you can use any replacements here as long as they're being used in the correct context. So I can also use, what other replacements can I use? I can use like some of the fun date replacement codes. So like, oh yeah, that doesn't work there. Local date, and then it would be year, month, day, and then today. To insert today's date in the year, month, day format, make sure that enable replacements is on, save draft, and then preview a new tab. And there we go. We also have today's date. Just as you would use in an email, you can use on the front end of WordPress, given that you have the tracking cookie. And I'll go in depth about how the tracking cookie works in a little bit. So that is inserting content into WordPress content. You'd also don't have to do enable replacements on every single block. So enable replacements works on a number of different blocks. One of those is also the group block, which also works for group, row, stack, and grid. And any blocks, like a paragraph block, so if I put in a paragraph in this that says, your email address is email. And so I'm not going to turn enable replacements for the paragraph, but I'm actually going to go up to the group itself. And we have that same Groundhog panel here. We can enable replacements on the group, save changes, preview new tab, and any replacements within the content in that group will also be replaced and inserted with Groundhog content from the contact profile. Oh, I do see someone asking if there's an example of using a custom field. So you would use replacements or custom fields in exactly the same way as you would any of like the standard replacement codes in Groundhog. So either if you're doing if you're accessing directly from meta, it would be meta dot, or meta key, just like so. Otherwise, if it's a custom field, it would just be the key of your custom field. And those would be inserted in the content exactly as you would expect. Okay, the next step into really smart personalization is not just putting in words or putting in and replacing parts of text that are recognizable to your visitors and your members, but actually changing the structure and the overall layout and content of your website in order to meet someone's preferences. So for example, you be using tags about their interest, like maybe they're interested in boats or maybe they're interested in ATVs, and you might want to change a page to show content about ATVs or about boats depending on that person's tags so that you can show them the most relevant information to them. And that's why we needed the content restriction from earlier. So you may already know that you can restrict entire pages based on content restriction, and that's all well and good, but what about blocks? So again, let's say we only wanted to show this block here. I'll delete this information. And so this block is about boats. And then we will go up to the group and let's give it, I want to do this. I'll give it a background so that we can recognize it. And we'll give it some space. All right, so this is our boats block. And then we're going to make another one. We are going to make it green. And this is about ATVs. We'll go ahead and save that. I'm going to go back to the admin, and I'm going to go create a new tag. I'm going to create a couple of tags. We'll do boats and ATVs. Those will be our new tags. I will go to my contact record and I'll play around with the tags in a second. But here, we only want to show the boats to people who are tagged with boats, and we only want to show the ATVs to people who are tagged with ATVs. So go into the group, and again, this works for other blocks, other core WordPress blocks as well. If you do not see the Groundhogg panel for a block that you want to do, just put it in a group, and that you can use the group level settings, and everything in that group will respect the group level settings. And then in addition to enable replacements, we don't have any replacements in here, so that doesn't really matter. You want to click enable content restriction, and that's going to show you a familiar interface. This is the same logic interface we use for conditional logic. It's the same for branching. It's the same for context search and segments. It's the same for broadcasts. It's the same interface that you're familiar with, and we just keep reusing it because it's the best one that exists ever in the history of CRMs. I might be biased in that opinion, but whatever. And we are going to add an include rule. We're going to add a tag rule or a tag clause, and we are going to select the ATV tag. And now people who are only tagged with ATV are going to be able to see that block. And if we go to this group, I'm actually going to rename these so it's easy to tell. So this is ATVs, and this is boats. Save. There we go. We'll do the same thing here. We'll turn on content restriction for the group. We will add a tag filter, and then we're going to add boats. And then we are going to publish that. There we go. Now, I don't remember if the content restriction is turned off if you're logged in as an administrator. So we're about to find out. And it's not. Okay, so you will be able to preview this as you actually would. So you can see I can't see either of those sections because my contact record has neither the boats nor the ATVs tag. So let's go back to our contact record. We will add the boats tag, save, and if I did everything right, we should now see the boats section, which we do, which is fantastic. So we now see our boats section, which has information or listings or blog posts or whatever about boats. And now that I know that I'm interested in boats, the site knows I'm interested in boats, I can go to the website, and everywhere I look, you can structure your website to appease to my interest in boats. And now we can go back here. I can also add the ATVs tag. So now I have both boats and ATVs. If I refresh, now I see both sections. And if I remove the boats tag, now we only have the ATV section. If anybody, by the way, doesn't know what an ATV is, I know we have like international customers. ATV meaning all-terrain vehicle, like a four-wheeler. If in case I don't know if ATV is like universal language for a four-wheeler, but whatever. But yeah, so now we can basically use this exact same system anywhere on the website. Something that I enjoy doing a lot is if you're using full site editing, which I've been doing a lot recently, and I actually, it has, as in all things, it has pros and cons. But if you have, let's say, like a post template, let's go to our like single post template, single posts. So this is like the overarching post template for all posts in WordPress. You can actually modify your entire template using this conditional logic. So let's say you wanted to have a section in your post template. Let's open up this. And let's say you wanted to add like an offer to people who are visiting your website that aren't customers, right? So we could add a group here. And let's just call this group offer. That we will I will make it a little bit obvious so we can see where we're looking. And make it so there's our offer. Now we don't want to show this offer to people who are already customers and browsing our website because that's intrusive. And so At the template level, we can enable content restriction, and then we can exclude, well, we just use tags again, and anybody that has the customer tag. And so anybody that's on our list that's a customer, regardless of whether you're using a customer tag or a custom field or order history or whatever, you can use any of the available filters in Groundhog to exclude certain sections to hide those from people who that information is not relevant for. All right, so we can go ahead and save that. And now if we go look at a post, let's go look at this one. Is that because I have the customer tag? I do have the customer tag. So you can see that looking at this post, that section is not there because I have the customer tag. Let's go and remove the customer tag. Refresh that page. And there we go. There is now a section that's like, hey, you're not a customer. Sign up. That's, I think, pretty powerful stuff. So it works really well for injecting offers in directly into your page templates or your post templates or whatever. When you're using full site editing, you can do it at the post and page level by restricting specific blocks depending on settings. And you can get really, really, really fancy with this stuff. So if I go to all contacts, I have a couple, like I have an all leads, for example, search here. And this just is broken. So that's okay. So let's just go ahead and we're going to put in lead and we're going to add a bunch of lead tags. There we go. And we're going to update that search. So we have this search that's like all leads, and it's a combination of all the leads that I have from my different sources. And I want to show a specific offer only to people that are in this search. Well, back in the post editor or in the template editor for this, rather than doing an exclude search on customer, I could say I only actually want to show this to people who have that tag. And so from here, I can type in search and I can use that saved search all leads within the search filters itself. So I don't have to like rebuild the whole search and duplicate it. I can just use it as a saved search and then use that saved search in a filter itself right here and then save that. And now only people that have those tags will be able to see this. So if I go back here, it should be hidden or not because I actually have that tag. If I go back to my contact record, I have website lead. So if I remove the website lead tag, it's gone. And if I add the website lead tag, I'm going to close this page because I keep going there by accident. It's there. Now, is that cool or is that cool? I think that's pretty cool. And that's, I think, a pretty powerful feature. Definitely something that's underutilized in Groundhog. I highly recommend that you go play around with it. Currently, and I know people are going to ask, the content restriction and replacements portion are only available for Gutenberg. I know people want Elementor. It is a active and pending feature request. So in the future, okay, never say never, but in the future, this is going to have Elementor support as well. I know people are going to ask, but right now it's available for Gutenberg and it works and it's really awesome and I'm using it and other people are using it and you should use it too.